guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be filming something a little bit different. I've done a version of this before, but we're going to be basically doing the opposite, and it's where I'm going to read 5-star reviews of my least favorite books. I don't have a ton of least favorite books because everything I read, I like a lot of the stuff that I read, but there are a select few books that I did not enjoy, and on my Goodreads it'll probably say I gave them 3 stars, maybe less depending on the book, but I've changed my rating system since I've read a lot of these books, and a lot of them would be a 1 or a 2 stars if I was to go back and rate them again, because a 3-star I still enjoyed the book, but it just wasn't my favorite thing ever. So a lot of these are definitely 2 and 1 stars for me, and some of them you guys are probably gonna be mad at me for, and I'm sorry, but I just did not enjoy these books. I have done this where I've read 1-star reviews of my favorite books. Those videos hurt my heart, and if you guys want to see more of those, I can definitely do them, and if you want to see a part 2 to this, I can definitely do it. But I got this idea from Larry Reads or Larissa on YouTube, and I'm obsessed with her videos, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys watch her, and she did this as well as the 1-star reviews of her favorite books, and I thought it was a really good idea, so I wanted to do it as well. And yeah, I'm gonna be talking about some of my least favorite books today, which I don't like to talk negativity on my channel, but yeah, these are just 5 of my least favorite books, and I am interested to see why some of you guys liked them, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get into the video. The first book 5-star reviews of is the only one that I own the physical copy of, and that is You and Me on Vacation, aka People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. This was my first book that I ever read from Emily Henry, and I did not enjoy it. I think on my Goodreads I gave it 4 stars. Probably because of the romance, because I really did enjoy the romance between Poppy and Alex, and the concept of the book was really good, but it was just boring. I was not entertained when I was reading this book. It's friends to lovers. Friends to lovers can be hit and miss. If it's done well, amazing. If it's not done well, it can be a bit boring, and this one was a little bit boring for me. I just didn't feel like the connection between them. It was frustrating, and I was just like not finding myself wanting to go and pick up the book and read it. I'm not really gonna go in depth about what it's about. I feel like a lot of people know it's friends to lovers, they go on a vacation together, they've been on a bunch of vacations together, and something goes wrong, they haven't spoken in a couple of years, and then they go on another vacation to rekindle, you know, their friendship, and, you know, they realise that they've always been in love with each other. And yeah, I just didn't enjoy it. It was not an entertaining book for me. I did not like it. I feel like that's a lot with Emily Henry, just because I tend to get bored when I read her books, which is really unfortunate because I want to love her writing, but I just don't. But yeah, let's just go and read some 5-star reviews, because I know a lot of people love this book. I did give it 4 stars. Why did I do that? I don't know. I think I talked about it in a video too, and I was just scared that everyone was gonna like hate me if I hated on the book, so I was just like, I give it 4 stars, cool, okay, bye. Oh god, this one just says, this is how you do friends to lovers. No, it's not, girly. No, it's not. This is not how you do friends to lovers. That is not it. That is not how you do a good friends to lovers book at all. I'm sorry to anyone who loves these books. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and this is just mine. You don't have to agree with it, but I'm really sorry if these are some of your favorite books. I'm not trying to offend anyone. I'll never belong anywhere like I belong with you. That's a direct quote from the book. That is a really cute quote, and I gave this 4.5 stars, but same thing. This book was phenomenal. Friends to lovers excellence, if you will. In this story we follow 2 best friends, Alex and Poppy, who always take an annual summer vacation, blah 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 blah. That's just the plot. This book was so full of mutual pining. Was it? Inside jokes and amazing chemistry. The romantic connection between Alex and Poppy was just done so well. I will agree with that. I did like the romantic tension. No, they didn't have any tension, like at all. But I did like their romance. Their romance was super cute, and Alex was a sweetie, but like I said, I was bored. I was sold on them as a couple almost immediately. I felt like they knew and understood each other, and it honestly was swoon-worthy. Was it? I feel like they didn't really have any romance at all. I wanted more. The modifying ordeal of being known is so worth it. This was really gripping. Was it gripping? Loved the writing, the humour, the banter, the angst. There was no angst in my personal opinion. It was just so great. I read it under 24 hours because I couldn't put it down. Highly recommend. Alright, Well, I have to agree to disagree on that one. I literally cannot stop crying over this book. Why? It's not sad. Alex and Poppy's chemistry was unreal and the theme of friendship and loyalty hit every point I expected it to. I'm so happy they found their home. Crying emoji. Girlie, are you okay? Like, why are you crying? Like, because this book, it's really not cry-worthy. I love girls named Poppy. That's it. That's the review. Alright. Go off. Infinity stars? I'm sorry, but the fact that Alex Nielsen is not real is honestly just offensive. I mean, like, I feel like we could have that opinion on so many other book boyfriends, and I would agree. But Alex, really not one that I wish was real. Next book that I absolutely despise with every fibre of my being, I would give it 0 stars if I could. And that is The Truth About Heartbreak by B. Celeste. I do not like this book at all. It's one of the most frustrating books I have ever read. The main characters infuriated me the whole time. I think it had like flashbacks to past and present. I did enjoy the flashbacks and when they were like meeting and like falling in love, like, but I did not enjoy the present timeline. It was frustrating, annoying. This book does involve cheating, but that wasn't my main issue with it. Like, obviously I'm not like going to, I know some people do like cheating in books and they like seek it out, but I'm not one of those people. But if cheating is in a book, I don't, like, it's not a book that I will like immediately be like, no, I'm not reading it. If it's in there, it's in there. I don't agree with it, but this cheating just felt really unnecessary to the plot. And like, there's this big reason why he can't break up with his girlfriend, or his fiance. I actually think it's his fiance. He can't break up with her because of this big thing. And then like when it's revealed that what the thing is, it was like super anticlimactic. I was like, you definitely could have broken up with her. You did not need to stay with her for that reason. And it was so incredibly frustrating. This book is his best friend. She's like adopted into this family, and her foster brother, his best friend, she ends up falling for him. And then obviously as she gets older, she realizes she's starting to develop feelings for him, but he has a girlfriend and he is with this girl for literally years, but he doesn't even like her. And she's so frustrating as well, like the girlfriend, but you also feel bad for her. This is literally my least favorite book I've ever read. I do, however, like the sequel, The Truth About Tomorrow. Can't tell you anything about that book because it spoils the whole first book, but I really enjoyed that book. 10 stars. 10 plus stars. My favorite read of 2019. This is everything I wanted in a story. Did we read the same story, or I'm not quite sure. But alright. 4.5. This book is really good. The time passes quickly. The book is amazing. So very writing. It's worth the read. It's not worth the read. I do not recommend. This book dragged on forever, so the time did not pass quickly for me. It just felt, I remember I was talking to my mom about it and I was like, I'm gonna throw my Kindle at the wall. Like, I'm so incredibly frustrated with these characters. It's not even funny. I'm like, just break up with your girlfriend. Like, just break up with her. She got like, ugh. It was so frustrating. This book, my lord, gosh, I read this in between almost everything in my daily life, speaking in pages between cooking dinner, running after a toddler and everything in between. It was that good. River and Rhett's story, actually I forgot their names, oops, is just a title indicates heartbreaking. It's an epic saga of finding and keeping your one true soulmate and all the hardships one has to endure to get there. I was so engrossed in this book. It was addicting, so well written with twists and turns at every point. You think that you just figured out the story, and Barbara, is that her name? Does a fantastic job with this delicate plotline. I cannot recommend it enough. I didn't know her name was Barbara because obviously it's someone who books B. Celeste. Agree to disagree. I cried. Same, because I was so frustrated and I wanted the book to be over. Review to be written soon. That was written 2 years ago. I still haven't written a review. I hope you're okay, girlie, because your review, it didn't come. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is Medicine Man by Saffron Kent. Another book that I do not like at all. I read this quite a few years ago though, and I think I like stopped reading it and then I went back and like skimmed the last like 15% just to finish it. Do not like Saffron Kent's writing style, and I haven't read a book by her since. If you guys have read any books by her that you like highly recommend that would change my mind, let me know and I'd be open to reading another one, because I know a lot of my favorite booktubers do rave about her writing and her books, but this one I didn't like. And I think it was because I read it in year 12 And in year 12 we were reading The Golden Age for English, and this book reminded me of The Golden Age. And if you don't know what The Golden Age is, it's a book about these kids in this hospital, and they have paleo, and paleo is like this disease where it, like, you lose your limbs, like it eats away like your limbs or something. And so it's about this guy who has paleo, and then this girl who comes in, and they kind of like fall in love, but it's also like it's a love story, but like it's got a lot of obviously like depth and things to analyze and stuff like that. And the whole vibe of that book, The Golden Age, made me think of Medicine Man. Like when I was reading it, I couldn't like not picture the hospital and the girl in that book, and it just reminded me of that. And I think that's part of the reason why I didn't like it. But basically this book is about a patient in a psychiatric hospital. She definitely big trigger warnings for attempted suicide and self-harm. She, you know, attempts to take her own life and then gets put in the mental hospital, and obviously has to talk to therapists and things like that. And this new psychologist comes in and she starts speaking to him, and they end up falling in love. It's age gap, like a 20-year age gap. Honestly, not a big deal, didn't really annoy me, didn't really care about that. I didn't like basically anything about this book. Such a good concept though, I will say. Like, age gap forbidden, obviously they're not meant to like have any attraction towards each other, nothing meant to happen. Like, he's a psychologist, like, and she's his patient, and like nothing should be happening, and like but it just didn't hit for me. Why is it so hard to write a review for a book I love? I don't know, but I don't know why you love this book either, so I don't have the answers, I'm sorry. Like any Saffron A. Kent novel, Medicine Man will challenge, comfort and move you. Her characters are complex, three-dimensional and flawed. They're beautifully broken, and they're made with hidden lies, shadowed vulnerabilities, and layer upon layer of half-truths. I mean this in the best way possible. After all, who wants to read about a heroine who's perfect? Who wants a hero that's got his life together? Where's the raw, animalistic compulsion to break the rules in order to make new ones if there's nothing broken in the first place? Where's the risk, the reward? Exactly, and that's what Saffron Kent does so well. She crafts highly original characters who own the page from the first word to the last. So yeah, I loved it. I loved every minute of this slow burn romance. Well, you read it in a day, so I think you loved it. I cannot agree with you, unfortunately. I will say that she does definitely write angsty romance and flawed characters, which obviously I love that part, but I just felt like it was boring. 5 stars. I found a new fave. Why? All the phenomenal stars in the world, hands down one of the best books of 2018. Maybe if you read it in 2022, your opinion would change. Just saying. To be fair, I read it in 2019, so maybe if I read it, my opinion would change. But I don't think so. The next book that I'm going to be talking about is Lick by Kylie Scott. This is the first book in a series. I believe it was free on Kindle a couple like years ago, and I finally read it I think last year. It's a rock star romance between this girl. I believe they meet in Vegas, and they like wake up and they're married. And he's like famous, and she's like, what the fuck? And they don't remember anything that happened. Or she doesn't remember anything that happened, but he remembers because she was like really drunk. He remembers what happened, and he's like really mad at her and whatever. They wake up married, and they're like, what the fuck? And yeah, I enjoyed this book a lot of the way through, and then it got to a certain point where I was just like bored, and I was sick of the book, and I was sick of the characters, and I didn't want to read it anymore. And I literally remember skimming the last like 50% of the book because I didn't want to DNF it, but I was not enjoying it. I did not like the characters. I did not like their romance. He was the most frustrating male character ever. I did not like him at all. She was annoying. I did, however, like the side characters. The rest of the band members, I believe, all have a book, and I would consider reading them because I really enjoyed their characters. Love, love, love it. So perfect and adorable and hot and brilliant. Okay. A fantastic rock star romance when what happened in Vegas stays in Vegas, right? Wrong when you accidentally get married to one of the biggest rock stars on the planet. The ring, the paparazzi, the legal papers, and the hubby himself is still there even after you leave Vegas, even if you have absolutely no recollection of the whole thing. See, that makes the book sound really good. That makes the book sound really good. And the plot, phenomenal. Don't really like the one of the Miss Famous trope, but it's hit and miss for me. Did not like it at all. Don't know why you loved it. 3 words. Okay, what are your 3 words? David freaking Ferris. My 3 words are David freaking sucks. I said what I said. Yes, this book was awesome. I truly did not want to part with my Kindle for any reason while reading this. This book put me back into my happy book place and gave me a new book boyfriend too. David freaking Ferris, ladies and gents. Read this book. I would recommend this read, and I would definitely be reading book 2. I mean, if you want to read it, but I would say that David freaking Ferris isn't really as great as she's making him out to be because I personally remember hating him. But the last book we're going to be talking about today is probably, if I had to pick a favorite out of these books, it would be this one, but I just felt like it could have been literally 300 pages shorter, and that is Sweet Dandelion by Michaelia Smeltzer. You guys know I love Michaelia Smeltzer. I love her The Boys series. I've read so many books by her that I have loved. This one was just not one that I loved. I felt like it could have been literally like 200 pages shorter. This book is like over 500 pages and it just did not need to be. It was so unnecessary because there's a whole middle chunk of the book that could have been cut out and it would have saved us a lot of time. And I know a lot of people love this book. It is a relationship between a student and her counselor. She basically was involved in a school shooting, and I believe her mother passed away because she worked at the school, and then she ends up going to a new school, moving in with her brother, and she has to see the counselor every week or every day or something like that, and he is this very hot man, and they end up, you know, forming a connection and bonding over books, which we love, and falling in love. And I loved the romance. Loved these two characters together. The main character did frustrate me a lot. She was very frustrating at times, and during the whole portion of the book in the middle, incredibly frustrating. Wanted to literally go into the screen and slap some sense into her because she was literally so frustrating. But I loved their romance, and Lachlan, who is the main guy, he's the sweetest, and I definitely did enjoy the start of the book. The first like 200 pages, loved it, the angst, the build up to their relationship, the like everything so good, and then, you know, the complication obviously that happens like 70% of the way through the book. That kind of happened a bit sooner than you thought it would, and not really a spoiler because like you know what's gonna happen, where they break up, and then they literally break up for ages. And this book is only told in one point of view, and I feel like if it was told in dual POV, it would have been a lot more interesting because obviously they're broken up and you don't get to see what the guy's doing. You only get to see what the girl's doing, and it's really boring. Like, it's really boring. She goes on this journey of like self-discovery and whatever, and I feel like we totally could have time jumped it and it wouldn't have been detrimental to the story at all, like, because I was just bored during that whole part and I skimmed most of it, and then finally when they got back together it was super cute again. But that whole thing could have been avoided if she just did the one thing that everyone would have been screaming at her to do the whole time. And it would have been literally, it could have been 200 pages shorter, and it would have been probably a 5-star read for me because I loved their romance. But I hated every second of this whole middle section of the book, and I just felt like it was really unnecessary. Like, I started this book last night and completely devoured it. Something about forbidden romances kept me so enthralled, and I absolutely loved everything about this one. I can definitely see why you enjoyed it, because the forbidden aspect, it was really good, but just the whole middle section just frustrated me. Oh god, this book is phenomenal. I can gush about this story for hours. This 600-page book, and this is a 600-page book, and every page was so worth it. No, it wasn't. Every page was not worth it. This was so beautiful. You know what is beautiful? The cover. The cover of this book is so beautiful. The book itself, not so much. The best written forbidden romance, love, and student-teacher romance ever, even though it's counselor-student romance. Go read. Angry face emoji. Okay, that was a jumble of words, but alright. Reviews are really divided on this book, and I get that. However, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was well written, character driven, and I got invested in their journey. Yeah, I can see why the reviews are divided. I think it's just that whole middle section, because the start of the book and the end of the book, really good, but if we just cut out the middle of the book, it would have been so much better. That is the last one that we're going to read today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a little negative, but it was also fun, and none of those reviews convinced me that the books are better than what I thought they were, but that's okay. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see a part 2, I can definitely do that, because I do have a few other books that I don't really like that I could read 1-star reviews of, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Let me know your opinions on these books if you've read any of them, and if you like them. I'm really sorry, like, once again, if I talk about any of your favourite books, I'm so sorry. I do not mean to offend anyone. This is just my opinion, and everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys!